Wow, really? That was my initial reaction upon seeing how the Cardano Foundation recently announced that, hey, when it comes to Cardano Summit 2025, which was a series of events, it recently won an award in London, England. I'm not joking. It was actually awarded the best international event at the International Corporate Events Network Awards, which again was in London, England. Now, I'll talk about this in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice and I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But winning this award right here could mean volumes when it comes to Cardano, because not only does it give it more validation, but it also showcases that, hey, you know what, hosting those events wasn't necessarily a flop, if that kind of makes sense, I suppose. Because if we take a look at it, what is the Cardano Summit 2025? Now, again, it's a series of events that they hosted in many different places, such as, for instance, Brazil, Argentina, Kenya, Germany, the US, and some others. Again, they hosted this event in many countries, and it was kind of designed basically to kind of showcase what Cardano is all about, right? To kind of have more people be aware as to what Cardano is. So this is pretty impressive, showcasing that, hey, you know what, that event, it wasn't a waste. And also on top of that, they even won an award. So that was pretty impressive, at least in my opinion. Now, people like to say, though, but this doesn't move the price charts when it comes to Cardano. Its native token called ADA, if anything, went down around 4% in the past 24 hours. So clearly this announcement of, I guess, this award, who really cares? But again, who's going to care about this, especially for the long term? Maybe not the retail market, but enterprises, developers. Also on top of that, other large projects out there that could be willing to collaborate with Cardano moving forward. Those are the archetypes that are going to be caring about this type of stuff. But if we think about it, it's going to kind of create this snowball effect, right? Because if Cardano has better enterprise adoption, better partnerships, and more developers building on it, naturally, what is that going to do? That's going to, make Cardano more popular. If that does happen, it's going to make it more recognizable, which inherently could affect the retail side of things. So the retail side of things may not really care about this too much, evidently as seen. ADA is down around 4% in the past 24 hours, but the long-term impacts of them winning this award could allow for better enterprise adoption, better partnerships, which inherently, again, could cycle back and then create this snowball effect where it does affect the retail market eventually. So in any sense, I suppose, I don't find this to be a bad thing that they won this award. I think if anything, it's actually pretty cool and pretty interesting. Now, people like to say, though, does this improve Cardano in any sort of way? Well, in terms of the pure fundamentals, not really, but it does give it better recognizability. But Cardano is so close, right, to the Van Rossum hard fork actually happening. And keep in mind, through the Van Rossum hard fork, it's going to bring many improvements when it comes to Cardano, especially in regard to security. But also, the Van Rossum hard fork is actually going to set up Cardano for an even bigger upgrade moving forward, which could very well bring something called Leos, which is going to bring Cardano just to a whole different level in terms of scalability, because through Leos, it's going to make Cardano more scalable than what it already is. Cardano is not an unscalable layer 1 blockchain. I mean, it's already known for its scalability. But Leos, it's really just going to make it over the top. And the Van Rossum hard fork being so close, basically, we'll wait and see, though, if it could ever even really happen and exactly when it could happen. But it seems so close, and that could really set up Cardano moving forward. So I don't see what's so bad when it comes to Cardano. Yes, the price charts are down, but Bitcoin's down, Ethereum's down. It's not only just ADA, which is Cardano's native token. That's not the case. A lot of projects out there are down. It's not only this. But given at a time when the price charts aren't doing the best, given at a time when the market isn't doing the best, Cardano, they're still doing their thing. So I don't see what bad thing happened to it. If anything, I think that Cardano is maybe going to improve right through the Van Rossum hard fork. And that's going on as of right now, right? The attempts for that is going on in 2026. When the market isn't doing the best, Cardano, there are still things going on. So I can't necessarily complain about that. And considering Cardano's amazing partnership with Petrobras, the largest company out there in Brazil, also on top of that, with Cardano's recent partnership announcement with the Brazilian Olympic Committee. they're doing things. It's not like they're being lazy. And also, they recently had a partnership with Senai São Paulo, right? Which also has a very massive presence in Brazil. So we got to think about that. Cardano, it's still doing its thing. I mean, yes, when it comes to ADA, it's at around 16 cents. It's not doing the best, but if we think about it, is it necessarily a bad thing though? I mean, I don't mind low prices because I'm looking to dollar cost average. I don't like it when it's sky high. I like it when it's kind of low. Now, is this the bottom when it comes to ADA? I have no way of knowing that because even if I pulled up a price chart and drew some random triangles, I'll never be able to know the bottom because, okay, let's just think about this logically. If I pulled up a price chart, drew some random triangles, like let's say a falling wedge pattern, is the market going to care? No, it's not going to listen to me. It's not going to care, right? What usually survives in the long term is good fundamentals, projects that keep on building, that keep on, improving. So as long as I see that, it's not a big concern for me because I can't control the market. So I'm not even going to worry about the timing and when it's going to recover. I'm not going to worry about that because that's not within my control. What's within my control is myself, right? Me doing research, me waiting, me being patient for the projects that I want to be patient for. That's within my control. But the market changing and all this, I can't control that. So why do I even want to waste any sort of energy to be focused on that? For what? I don't need to be focused on things that are not within my control. I'm going to focus on the things that are within my control. And if I see ADA being around 6 times lower, basically, than where it once was last year, I mean, we saw ADA at around $1 last year. And that was considered quite bad when it comes to ADA just because ADA's all-time high is around $3. But then we take a look at last year, it was consistently hovering at around $1 at certain times. But because we're so low as of right now, we're around 6 times lower than that. So the way to take a look at it is that, okay, this may be down, but in terms of fundamentals, I don't see what bad thing happened to it. So I'm still going to be waiting. I'm still dollar cost averaging once a month, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything. That's just personally what I'm doing. I'm not, again, speaking on anyone's behalf. That's just my perspective. But when I take a look at Cardano as a layer 1 blockchain, I just don't see what bad thing happened to it. And long story short, seeing how the Cardano Summit in 2025, winning an award like that, winning an award of that magnitude, I should say, again, they won the best international event at the International Corporate Events Network Awards in London, England. That is pretty impressive. And I think, if anything, it kind of gives more validation as to what is going on with the Cardano Foundation, which I don't think is a bad thing overall. So yeah, when it comes to this, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very fantastic day. It's Willie the Captain, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.